I got 30-some hoes, you at the crib making TikToks. Perky gon' blow like a 30-06 dog. She gon' fuck my bros, cause I know that she a big dog. I come from the low, but I'm standing at the tip. I got 30-some hoes, you at the crib making TikToks. Perky gon' blow like a 30-06 dog. She gon' fuck my bros, cause I know that she a big dog. I come from the low, but I'm standing at the tip top. Lot of hoes to choose from, I ain't scared to lose one. Bitch, I've been a thought boy since I was reading Goosebumps. Standing on the block, I was testing out my new gun. Mix the off-white with the blue ones. I know I'll be alright when I'm going through some. Got some white if you wanna do some.
Guys, it's Friday again, and it's time for Just the Tip.
That's Josh.
Yes, it is.
I was waiting for him to say it, but
That's
he
King this time.
He was moving slow. I'm wondering, just the thought when that song was playing, you know, my boy. If you notice the timing of everything, when we switched songs over to his song from Stellar Modus, who did a great job on our first one. We'll probably go back and get another cut from them. But we switched over, and he's mentioning TikTok in there. I wonder if TikTok got mad at that, and then that's why I'm still banned.
Yeah, guys, because we're actually, every single time that I've come over here, we have reapplied for permission to stream live on TikTok. Every time we've tried it, it says nah. In fact, it says we're supposed to get an email within a day. I can't even figure out what email is attached to that account. I can't go in there and change the email that I know of. And I'm pretty decent when it comes to tech. So, who knows, man?
Weird.
30-odd hosts, you know, and they're at home making TikToks. That's what happens.
I don't know. It'd be kind of like, not allowed to say TikTok on TikTok?
I don't know.
I would be interested to see the reason.
Yeah, because
or if it's because I said fucking retarded.
Yeah, but they never actually gave us anything. But the other channels we stream on are completely okay. And, I mean, as it should be, because there wasn't any kind of hate speech or was anything like that. So, who knows? Who knows? But on today's show, guys, we are going to touch on, that's a weird way to say it, we're going to talk about...
You stay on that side of the table, sir.
We're going to touch on. We're going to talk about the King flops, so some of LeBron's classic stuff that he does. The Nintendo Switch 2 launch. Shannon Sharp asked, or Austin Metcalf, some tariffs, Magic the Gathering, and what did you have? I didn't even get to see it.
Oh, the thing I just pulled out?
Yeah,
I bought it. See it from if you're from the Erie, Pennsylvania area, go down to the Action Toy Man. He's always got good shit. I have the white version of this inside of a lamp base, and it looks really cool. So I didn't have the black one, so I bought the black version.
Heck yeah.
Super cool.
So if anybody is from Erie and you do want to check that store out, it's over on
26 in Elmwood.
Yep, 26. So I freaking love that store. They've got so many different things. My kids love it, and it's fun going in there with the next generation, showing them what we had, and then they end up wanting it. My kids want to collect the crap that I had.
Yeah. The dude is a good friend of mine. I was customer 0 there. When he was on 26 in Myrtle, I kept driving by, and then finally I pulled over, and I'm like, hey, do you mind if I take a look? You know, you open? He's like, no, I'm not open yet. I'm like, well, am I allowed to look? He goes, I'm not open yet, but okay. And that's how we became friends. Yeah. So I was customer 0.
Hell yeah.
No, the man is a genius. He built the top third, the third, or, well, actually it would be the second floor, but third if you're counting the basement, because they have stuff in the basement.
Yeah.
But the third floor used to be an apartment, and he did all that, you know, all that carpentry and electric work. But yeah.
Oh, he set that stuff up himself.
All that stuff himself. The dude is just, the dude probably created time travel. He's just a great guy. Great
and everybody
family,
that works there is
a
awesome.
Great family-owned business, and you get to go in and look at all the stuff from current day toys to stuff of the past you grew up on, stuff that was before you. Like, you'll never lose eye candy there. It's fucking amazing.
me see if we got
Action Toy Man.
Action Man toy. It just did. So I'm just seeing real quick if we got something just to pull
Yeah, there's a
up
Facebook
so you guys,
right here.
because this would be a not a shameless plug because these guys are awesome. I'm just gonna put this up on the screen.
See that
so you can see it
Mephisto
at the
right
same
there
time.
in the third panel over in the middle?
Yep.
That was mine.
Oh, was it really?
Yeah. Yep. That was
so
mine.
this is way more expanded than what I actually found out.
I gotta
about
scroll
them.
down. Like there's.
Look at that, guys.
It's insane.
It's literally that way in the store. So I'm going to zoom in on that real quick just so you guys can see this real fast. But there's so much here. And there's so much new in boxes you can see up there, too. But everything from Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
Look at the events they got coming up here.
An
Scroll down.
entire room of just comics, if you like comics, guys.
Hey, look at this.
Oh, yeah.
They're
They do.
just-
That's one of the coolest things they do is these live wrestler
Yeah.
events.
Yeah. I was there when the two girls were there, and yeah.
Oh, that was this year,
Yeah, Christy Hemme may or may not have been eye fucking me the whole time.
What else we got?
Oh man, that was like my freaking lesbian gym teacher.
Yeah.
No, I actually got drunk with Greg the Hammer Valentine at Bourbon Barrel.
Did you really?
Yeah, he did. We had the Comic-Con down in Erie. I thought he was there at one of the events or whatever, and he was telling me stories about Bobby Heenan and shit.
Yeah, there's that comic room I was talking about,
Yeah,
guys.
I carried all them fucking comics up. Yes.
Oh, a
They used to be
sweet
in the basement.
little lounge too, up
Yeah.
on the second floor.
There's going to be a new additive in that lounge. Go see the counter right there. Mm-hmm. Okay, there's going to be. Guess what's going to be out behind that counter? It's missing from my garage now. You didn't see it because it's not. You saw it every time you come over. Mars Attacks.
The big
ass alien is going to be back there with the sensor. If someone walks in there, it's just going to talk shit
It's
to him
just
and shoot
gonna
him the whole time. Right.
Yeah, guys, that was not a planned part of the show, but if you're from Erie or if you travel through Erie, definitely stop in and see this because it is a blast from the past. He has got great prices. He does beat eBay.
And a present
like
from the present.
Yeah, that's right. Get yourself a present from the present.
No, dude. 3 floors of amazing.
Yeah.
Merch.
Absolutely. But guys, we're going to roll right into this. So the first topic we pulled up when I first walked through, the very first thing that King said was we got to talk about LeBron. Love him, hate him. There is very much truth to him just being the flop king of NBA.
This is the GOAT of flop.
Yeah. So he's at least got one of the GOAT qualifications down. But check this out. We're going to share a screen with you so you can see this a little bit better. I'm going to zoom back out first. All right. So we are sharing that with you now. All right. So this is King's own version of Action Toy Man, though.
A lot of
view.
stuff going back and forth between me and that guy. I tell you what.
Wide view. Yeah, you can see this all. It's a pretty cool room,
There's
guys.
some new additions too since the last episode. The Dark Side I just bought from Action Toy Man right there.
Heck yeah. I actually saw that there.
I bought the Crypto next to him.
Yep.
What else did I get recently?
What the hell was that guy? I remember that. What was that from?
Fucking Domino's Pizza, the Noid.
That's what it
Pick him
is.
up. Grab him. He's all rubbery.
Yeah, he's one of the flex toys.
There's actually a story about this guy.
Hold on, let me
why they
switch
stopped-
cam real quick.
Why they stopped using him.
Pull it back up.
Ooh, the Noid. Yeah, man. He was their little mascot for a while. And some dude who had like some type of psychosis, his last name was Noid. He actually went and held Domino's Pizza hostage because of it. They thought that he was paranoid. They were talking about him. So that's why they dropped it.
Is it really?
I think I'm paraphrasing the story correctly. I believe that's how it went.
Right.
That's a topic for another time. Do your own research. Maybe we'll cover it next show. I don't know.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's why they don't fuck with this guy anymore. So, but I still fuck with him. He's my homie.
All right, so we're going to pull up the video for you to see because we started watching this. I'm going to back it up. King was saying this actually happened a couple days ago. If you actually look, it did. So we're about 20 days out from this one.
There was another one,
A more recent
like,
one.
this week where he's going like this and like looking to see if the foul was called.
I just got to peek into it. Yeah, check this out, guys. Enjoy this.
He has not moved whatsoever.
These announcers are hyping it up.
Players around him, but LeBron James here.
Yeah, they are.
here holding their collective breath here.
He's got bubble guts. He's got to poop.
Remember, he missed some time. Groin injury.
Yep, he had the left groin strain, and he missed a couple weeks. If the athletic training staff out there,
Shoes don't even match.
and looking
Look at
his
this.
abdomen, it looks like as we.
I didn't see any collision on that screen.
He pushed dude off and then fell.
Back of Kaminga.
This dude carries his own body shock.
Almost hit him like
Just
with
to
his
trace
feet.
himself because he's such a victim.
He gets up on his feet. As he catches his breath, we will as well.
Catches his breath.
All right, there's more flops. That wasn't even shit. This dude is a caricature of himself, man. He's just look at that right there.
Is this the one he does charging? Yeah.
He charges and then like what is that? This dude is just
What was that supposed to be? Oh,
he's actually
that
making
was supposed
shit.
to be a good one. Oh, look at that.
Oh yeah, we're talking about him.
Yeah, he's in a little bit. I just wanted to see some of these flops, but
Here comes one.
he just threw it out out of bounds and hit somebody in the head. I didn't know he was bald now until this. LeBron with the flop of the game.
This dude is a
He does look like he was about to.
flop artist. That's clean.
Yeah,
That's clean as fuck.
he didn't push him. Nothing.
This dude, and
he just
here's-
came down.
I'm gonna go a little bit deeper because that's just what the fuck I do. I don't just do just the tip. See what I did there.
He did nothing.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying, dude. He's a flop fucking artist. But the NBA is going to dick ride this dude. It could come out that, and they're gonna do damage control heavy on this. That's why this shit isn't coming out with this fucking Diddy list. Like, this dude ain't no party like a Diddy party. Like,
Yeah.
if that were ever a thing and he were in some nefarious fucking deeds doing that, the NBA would never, they would do everything they could to shroud that from even coming into existence.
Yeah,
Because that's their golden child. And right now, your golden child looks like a golden bitch.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not going to take anything away from this dude's greatness.
As far as his play.
He's
As
doing
far
it
as his
himself,
play.
though. He's doing it himself. Like, back in the day, he was a man. But you cannot tell me, I can't even have a conversation about this guy being the GOAT because he never lasted in the Jordan era. They beat the shit out of you.
Oh yeah.
And now, like, the way he's like, oh, a fucking mosquito went in front of me. I need a technical. Like, no. Like, you're a fucking clown, dude. There's no conversation. I can name 5 better players than him right now that ever played. But the reason he has all these records is because he's been playing for 20 fucking years in a softer league.
Oh, much softer league.
Much softer.
That's the
There it
peak?
is. There it is. Look. Look. Watch the eye. The dude is a
Holy shit! Hold on.
No, it's not. He's going pretty fast.
We're gonna put that back real quick.
I swear, I thought this was AI for like the first 10 times I watched it. I was like, is this real or AI? Like, do they hear me? Do they see me? That little ice. If this is not in slow motion, that's hilarious. I feel like it has to be in slow mo.
It's not slow mo. It's
He's going pretty fast.
yeah.
This dude is just.
Are you kidding me?
He's taking himself out of the GOAT conversation.
Like, nah, you're good, bro. It's not me.
Like, you got like Larry Bird, Magic
Did you hear just
Johnson,
what he just
Kobe
said?
Bryant, all better than this guy. In every conversation I can have, because like, especially at the tail end of your career, like,
This guy who was commenting on the video goes, "It's like when you're trying to play sick and stay home because I
Right.
don't want to go to school today, and then just peek out. Oh no, she's not paying attention." That's why it says it right on screen. He's
Right.
literally referring it to that.
yeah, the dude is
Wow.
He's become a clown.
Yeah.
And again, he got golden treatment, man. He was a fucking phenomenal player, but like, you're on the tail end of your career. You've had the longevity thing, but you've had the longevity thing in a less brutal era. I'm not saying that like
Oh, yeah.
you have to go back and play like the '90s guys did and they beat the shit. Like, a lot of that shit was brutal. It definitely should be you know,
A little bit more regulated.
yeah, a little bit more regulated. But this dude is, he carries his own body chalk.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
He's just fucking.
He's running out though because
Politically stupid.
you fall so many times.
Let me see. He fucking the Diddy shit, which is we're never gonna find out about that. But like in the NBA, they champion the fuck out of this dude. They're gonna ride him till the wheels fall off.
Yep.
Until he says something sideways to somebody you don't like, and then maybe they'll expose him.
Or something actually comes out that you can't cover up, and then
Right.
it's whoops.
Right.
But yeah, you're right. Everybody's going to be trying to push that brake as fast as they can to control that.
LaFlop James.
That's right. That's right. So we just saw a picture of him. We're actually going to jump one category and then go back. So our next topic, which coincidentally was right here.
Oh, there he was.
So we're going to switch it over. So this is dated as of yesterday, but Fox and Shannon Sharp settled physical incident with female PA. So the alleged incident, which has not been previously reported, took place while Sharp was a co-host on FS1's Undisputed. So he has been terminated from his position, correct? That's what they just parted with him?
I believe so.
So ESPN contributor Shannon Sharp announced Thursday he's stepping away from the network as he faces a $50 million lawsuit on allegations. So he's not. This was their way of making it sound like we didn't fire him. Just like whenever in any business world, I run businesses, we give somebody lots of times with nefarious acts or something that would be considered gross misconduct a chance to step down.
Right.
And self-terminate.
Do the honorable thing.
Yeah. We also do that too because then if somebody doesn't do it, you can't claim unemployment, A, B, C, D. There's a lot of pieces to it, but bigger companies also do that too. And then especially when you are a face of a network, they're not going to defamate their own network by terminating that man.
Yeah.
They're going to heavily suggest he steps down. And
ESPN's a Disney-owned property. They kind of did that with Jonathan Majors. They axed him in the King Dynasty because of like allegations, and I think he got a bad rap on that one. I didn't see, in the video that I remember seeing, I didn't see anything that was like completely over the top. But like if you read this, ESPN contributor Shannon Sharp announced Thursday he's stepping away from the network as he faces a $50 million lawsuit on allegations that he raped a woman whom he was in a relationship with. Not saying that when you're in a relationship, when someone's no is still no. It's still no.
Yep.
But like, I also see that like this dude's in a position with a lot of power and money.
Oh, to be defamated
and to
as well.
be able to go, yeah, you know what? I'm coming for everything you got.
Yep. Because I didn't get ABC.
The Me Too movement, unless it's certain elitists that are out there, and then it's not Me Too. But I mean, if there's truth to it, and that's terrible, then yeah, he should be held accountable.
Absolutely.
But, this might be ESPN just getting ahead of it in case he is, or they know something that they're not going to be able to cover up.
Yeah, I think, or like I was saying, he's part of their face of their network. I think it was to save face.
Well, this way he was on Fox though recently, isn't he? There was no incident of choking involving Shannon on the FS1 set.
So this has supposedly happened on Fox's set, yeah. Are these separate incidents? No.
Dude, are you reading this middle part?
Yeah, the Diddy thing?
Yeah, earlier this week, a woman filed lawsuit in Nevada accusing Shannon Sharp of raping her. The woman, represented by attorney Tony Busby, who previously filed suits against Deshaun Watson, Jay-Z, and Diddy, said in the suit that she was 19 when she met Sharp at the gym in Los Angeles in 2023. Sharp is 56. The lawsuit claimed that the two had a consensual relationship that grew tense when Sharp went on Instagram Live last October, apparently having sex with another woman. He did it. Did I read that?
Accident. Yeah, I did not know that was a thing.
He went live He went live last October, apparently having sex with another woman. Sharp said at the time that
He went live by accident. So he was on the wrong app, guys. His OnlyFans.
And it gets better. BuzzFeed later released an audio of Shannon Sharp threatening to choke the accuser. This ain't looking good, Sharp. This ain't looking sharp. This is looking
Dull is well, not dull.
I don't even know. It's very jagged.
Yeah.
Rusty.
Serrated.
Serrated as fuck. Bread knife, baby. Sharp's attorney, Lanny Davis, has claimed that Sharp and the plaintiff engaged in role playing. Oh, there we go. We're going to talk about role playing later.
Yeah, we are.
He acknowledged in the call with reporters earlier this week that the leaked audio was real, but said it was in the heat of the moment and not meant literally. Ooh, I don't know. And then, it's our opinion, this is a classic case of blackmail. That's fucking racist.
Oof. Yeah, it is.
I continue. The plaintiff demanded tens of millions of dollars in the proceedings. That's called mediation.
You know what? I want to talk about that because we say that bribing is illegal, okay? Mm-hmm. But then that is a legal bribe. That's a legal extortion. That's
if the magic napkin says it's cool, right?
Yes, because someone legally said, go ahead and pay me off. And that's why I have a huge problem with, like you were saying, with Me Too and what have you, because somebody is just making it about money.
Yeah.
I wouldn't give a shit about $1 if that situation happened to me. I would care about justice.
You can't put a price amount on something like that happening,
or it didn't really
did happen,
or it didn't really affect you the way you're saying it did,
right?
Because if a dollar sign solves your problem,
right? And I'm not saying you can't be
or
you can't file,
for
can't file for some type of compensation for certain things.
To me though, who determined that was worth? Because he's a millionaire. Who determined that was worth tens of millions of dollars?
Right. And then
they settled for 100,000.
Yeah,
or hundreds of thousands.
I think because their logic is if I aim high, if I get somewhere in the middle, I'll be good.
Yeah, it is, but it just seems odd.
But no, like in like wrongful deaths and things like that, I understand going for certain things, and I'm not saying like you can never replace what has been damaged in certain scenarios. Like I said, wrongful death. I'm living this right now in my life. With my son passing. But you have something like this and they have like the dollar amount there, however that was determined, I don't know.
I don't either.
And like the leaked audio that's gonna be, when you're famous, you can't do shit like this.
No,
especially like on the phone or like on video or whatever, like
and
you're gonna get
text message, anything
that's gonna get spun. Even if you didn't have any fucking bad intentions, it's gonna get spun like you did.
Sure did.
You got a lot to collect on.
Yep. Yeah, that's where that's that serrated knife.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Going into more happenings on X, so I'm gonna let King talk more about this because I actually didn't even know this next one happened.
It was crazy.
So switching to X. This is about Austin Metcalf.
I've seen this fucking strolling through YouTube all week. I guess a 17-year-old boy, a twin brother, was stabbed in the chest by Carmelo Anthony, not the basketball guy, at a track meet. I guess he was asked to leave. Like Carmelo was asked to leave the tent he was, Austin was in or whatever, and then kind of like goaded him into like a physical altercation while holding the knife. But then now they're trying to claim it's self-defense. The bond for him was pretty high, and then the judge dropped it significantly. And there's been like, I don't know if you want to call it GoFundMe, but there's been contributions on Carmelo's behalf supporting him. And there's been so much hate spewed when people are dropping donations on there, kind of like, referencing, okay, we get one back because of George Zimmerman, who was also Puerto Rican, by the way. I still never got that.
Are you talking about George Floyd?
No, Zimmerman.
Oh, Zimmerman.
Like, because how he killed that teenage boy or whatever.
Oh, yeah.
But then, no, they just make it completely about race. And I guess my whole thing with any of this, anytime a story like this breaks, and if the roles were reversed, it says right here, we called it hate crime. This is the perfect tool to keep racism relevant. All the race hustlers come out, and we're never going to unlearn this. This right here programs people on how to respond when something like this happened. It can't be just one kid stabbing another kid and murdered him.
Can't be a circumstantial situation.
Right, it has to be the exterior of this individual was motivated by race to do this, or you're treating this person because he's this color this way. Like, we're never going to unlearn this because the way they carry these stories and they run with them, it's the perfect fucking tool. And if this dude got bail, he got out, he was living in a community, and the people in the community were like, we don't want him here, get him the fuck out. Like, a lot of people, like, and if that's what he did, and I guess there might be cell phone footage, they confiscated 70 cell phones of this happening. They didn't want him around, which, if that's the case, then yeah, why would you want him around?
Right.
But it's really being carried with heavy tones of race, and it's like, people fall for this every fucking time, and it's never going to go away. Racism is just going to continue to fucking go because of shit like this. Nobody can just say, this happened, this is unfortunate, there needs to be accountability. There always has to be the cosmetic story of he's motivated one way or the other. And nobody ever, and like, you really tell people on both sides how to treat the other one because of that, while you're doing this.
Yeah, because this very well may have had zero to do with anybody's race involved at all.
Right. Like, just because one person of one color takes the life of another, and
that's
I'm not condoning that in any way.
Yep.
But it might have been over the most insignificant shit. It might not have been about color whatsoever, but that's the way the story gets carried, and that just it just creates a huge divide. And just when it starts to heal, something like this becomes the catalyst to spread it further and further apart. And people on both sides, black and white, fall for that fucking shit.
Oh yeah,
and become racist. You're perpetuating this whole cycle, media, whether it's X, whether it's YouTube, whether it's fucking mainstream media. Quit falling for this shit.
Yeah.
Like, quit falling for the racism shit, dude. Like accountability needs to be all the way, like, across the board. I've said that about, the anti-Semitic laws that were just put into effect in the United States and stuff like that. Just because you're coming at somebody of a certain demographic or race or whatever and asking for accountability, it doesn't mean you're coming at them in collective. Like, the collective didn't do it. It was the individual that did it.
Yep.
And
just like
so,
here.
like, you can't hide behind these banners, whether it's your, your race or your organization or whatever the fuck it is. Personal, individual accountability. And cover the stories like that. Stop fucking pushing that shit out there. I'm fucking tired of it. It's like, if this is what happened, stab that dude.
Just tell the story.
The father has been, I guess he's a leftist or whatever, like that. He's just a weird individual. And like, as a grieving father, again, I can't explain how somebody else would cope the way I would cope.
Sure.
We all heal differently. We carry trauma with us, and we either maladaptively cope or we cope in ways that are, that actually, not so much heal, because that's something that doesn't go away.
Yeah.
But he's been very, very awkward and very odd. And the guy that's representing, the guy that like is speaking on behalf of Carmelo Anthony, this is a whole different layer here. He's doing a lot of pressers. This is something you can look into later. But he, back in the day, was charged with hurting a 2-year-old. Like, he called the mother of the 2-year-old or whatever home and said he fell off the couch or whatever. But the doctor said, no, that's not what happened. There's the damage here is very severe. It's not, this wouldn't happen to him falling off of the couch.
Yeah.
So this dude is like, actually got manhandled at Trump rallies, and like, he's a piece of shit. He is. Like, it's something to look into there. But surface level, the reason I wanted to talk about this and looking at this story, take race out of everything that gets hyper emphasized through media. Take it out.
Yeah.
Take it out. Look at personal accountability. Leave that shit alone. Leave these race hustlers starve. Like, you don't give him the attention. Focus on the fucking logics and the logistics of everything. And then...
Yeah, because I don't even want to look at the comment section here.
Yeah. Like, if you look at the donations for Carmelo Anthony, I'm like, and I've seen these, and I'm just like, wow, these people you're just raising hate.
Yeah,
you're
because either way, he murdered
hate.
another human. Regardless,
yeah,
that happened, and you are throwing dollars.
Now, and then they're saying it's self-defense. Why are you to track meat with a knife?
Why are you in their tent?
Right, but why are you to track meat with a knife?
Yeah.
I'm not saying, like, I am always the one to say you should be able to defend yourself in any way, shape, or form. You know, that's an inherent right when you're born, by any means. But you're at a track meet. I'm not, I don't know. Like, you're at a high school track meet. What are you doing with a knife?
Yeah.
Like, my son, back in the day when he was in Northeast, he traded a video game for this big hunt knife that he wanted. And he got caught with the trade. Like, it was legitimized that he was trading for it, but he just wanted a hunting knife. But, like, it was a zero tolerance policy.
Yep.
You know, there was, like, probation and shit like that. Like, he got caught with, like, in the transaction. So, like, there's no place for that on a track field, in a classroom, anywhere. So, but again, moral of this, covering this on my end, was to stop fucking falling for this bullshit racist, narratives. Stop.
Your camera got hit up. You got to duck it down.
Hey, get back here.
Don't know how that happened, but it did.
Hi, up close and personal.
That's right. There we go.
Good.
Now we're back to normal.
Back to being ugly again.
Back to normal. All right, so the next one we got here.
Local race hustler.
That's right. Forward and back. Next one is something that King and I were just randomly discussing. So we were chatting, and I just said, how do you feel? Because him and I don't have a left or right party affiliation. So I just openly said, how do you feel about the back and forth tariffs that we're seeing? So if anybody's unaware, we were going to impose a 46% tariff pretty much everywhere that was external. They put a 90-day temporary hold on that, where it's actually only 10%.
Right.
But it's been back and forth from them being on, being off. And granted, I'm not running a country, but to me, it just seems like we're unsure or some kind of weak backbone to doing this. And I understand all the costs and appropriations that go into it and the impacts, but
think of it as a business.
Yep.
Negotiation tactics? Possibly. I say, though, if you're going to come out as a hard ass and you're going to do something, don't sell wolf tickets. Fucking do it.
Yep. That's where I'm at, because, and I know the impact, guys, but if he's trying to do this to have a long-term impact, you always have to go through the little bit of the dirt to get to the part where you're going to be clean. Like, you have to weather a storm, and it just seems like the storm is so unsure.
Yeah, it's very wishy-washy, but then again, there's talks of him getting rid of the income tax for certain wealth class individuals in the United States. Like, get rid of the federal income tax altogether, and then you'll have my attention. But the tariff thing, we said on previous podcasts, I think it was 2 podcasts ago,
we saw it.
or shows ago, that you're going to go out with this negotiation thing, but, like, I understand wanting to barter and make things affordable.
Yeah.
And you also want to incentivize having these things created here.
Yep.
But to go out and just say you're going to do this and this, you're going to be this, this is what it's going to be, but not have the means to create it yet here,
right?
You could shoot yourself.
You're
in the
not
foot.
standing on much, yeah.
You could shoot yourself in the foot.
Yep. Tied in with this, guys, is the next topic I was going to talk about. So, Nintendo Switch 2 actually just went live for pre-orders yesterday. It was delayed because of the implementation of new tariffs that were coming out. It actually would have drove the price of the Nintendo Switch 2, because it was a 46% tariff, would have drove it up to $776. Wow. And just
Damn.
recently, the PlayStation received a price hike because of the same thing. Almost all consoles are produced in China. There are a few that they have, like Nintendo, have a plant in Vietnam, plant in Japan. They do have several, but the majority of their consoles, just like everybody else, are produced in China. So it was going to be a large appropriation of money changing that price, but they actually started producing them months ago, is what they said.
Yeah.
So there's actually been a bunch in the United States that they shipped here several months ago.
Okay.
So they were ready for launch and already here. So they went back to the negotiating table too, and there is a temporary halt on those tariffs through 90 days. So it actually will go through the Nintendo Switch launch, which is June 5th. But yesterday, these went live. I actually ended up being able to snag 2, but the majority of people who wanted to get them could not because of the amount of traffic that was going on to websites. There's a lot of videos out there talking about how they were crashing their websites. This went down, they had them in their carts, then they lost them. But there's 150 million Switches that have sold, so this demand was going to be huge. And I don't know how in the internet
150
age,
million?
yeah.
Can you imagine what the scalping rate on these fucking things are going to be?
Oh, now on the original Switch was 150 million.
Oh,
sold.
okay. So switch to my apologies.
Yep.
But still, can you imagine?
But
the
that's the
scalp?
audience.
Yeah.
Is 150 million. But there's going to be a bunch of scalpers. Nintendo's
You could buy a gaming computer that
response
they're going
to
to fucking
scalping
scalp.
said they
for
were
that.
going to overproduce, which they did. There's more consoles produced for this launch than any other one in history, regardless of what the company is. But it's still going to be short on demand, and now with tariffs, I would be surprised if this doesn't eventually go up. But $449 is already expensive.
Yeah, dude. With me in consoles, I am the guy that goes, I'm gonna let it be out for a while, wait for the price to drop. Also, a lot of glitches come out with
Yeah,
the newer
they do
shit.
a lot of firmware updates in the
Yeah,
very beginning.
so like you might go out and overpay for something that just ends up shit in the bed or just is glitchy as fuck. So I'm always patient when it comes to shit like that. So yeah, but I can see these scalpers like hawking them at the price of a fucking
Grand.
a regular computer.
Yeah, a
Which
grand.
you have more flexibility and capabilities with.
Even though it was impossibly hard online with all the internet issues because of the traffic, everybody is sold out. And I don't know what it's going to look like for replenishment. There are invites from actually being sent out from Nintendo themselves. If you've played more than 50 hours total and you've had their online subscription for at least 12 months, they're actually sending out a bunch of emails that you can get a launch console. So kind of like PlayStation did, where if you had a PlayStation account, you could actually get the PS5 Pro, where nobody else could get that.
Yeah.
Rather than they were stopping scalpers by doing that.
Yeah.
That Nintendo has allocated a lot of those to that. That way their people can get them to counteract scalpers.
Right.
But June 5th, that comes out. I'm
Fuck
looking
you,
forward to Mario
scalpers.
Kart. That's right. You just make everything fucking more expensive.
No, I don't
Speaking of
mind
more
turning.
expensive,
I don't mind turning a profit on things. Like, trust me, but like,
Oh, I don't
it,
either,
It goes
but
back to like
that's gouging.
Like, well, like the like the gouges that they got at like the gaming stores that we
Yeah.
were talking about. And
Yep.
I said that like with Magic and stuff, when these decks come out and like there's certain decks that they want and higher. They know they're going to be in higher
especially at
demand.
a retail store.
Right, and then there's one that's local, and they have a store next to it that sells cards for certain packs. Their booster packs are $1 cheaper at the other store that's right next to them. So where the fuck are you gonna go? And then you have these collectors, or not collectors, but the commander decks, and like they're sought after, and they know they're gonna be sought after, so they tack on 20, 30, 40,
Yeah,
or even
retail
double the
for
price.
55 and they're selling them for 79.
Right. So
Yep.
like immediately lost me as a customer. Like don't fuck with those people, man. Be patient.
Yep. And
Be
that's
patient.
that's it.
No
Because
FOMO here. No FOMO.
Just wait.
Yeah.
Just wait until you can
That's
get
a shirt.
stuff at
No
actual-
FOMO shirts. No FOMO shirts. You heard it here first, kids.
That's right. But speaking of expensive,
Aw.
so I'm a giant Final Fantasy fan. I also love Magic the Gathering. So when I heard there was a set for Final Fantasy coming out, because it's not just Final Fantasy 7, it is all the Final Fantasies, including 14, I guess. But a collector box for Magic is supposed to be $250. They go up, just like King was saying, based upon availability and desirability, all these other factors. But the base price for those things have been $250. The base price for this one was $500 from a retail store.
Nope.
Nope.
No
'Cause,
fucking way. You can get a whole Nintendo Switch 2.
I am curious at this. So I believe there's 12 packs in a collector box, correct?
Right.
So literally,
Click on it,
those
it'll tell you.
those packs at a discount are $41.66 at a discount because you're buying it in a package. So I wonder if they do show the individual ones like that. Like the Takir ones are 23 individual. They don't have those up there yet. But that individual box is just insane. That's something that I would have loved to collect, but I don't understand what.
And that's why they did that.
That is why.
That's exactly why they did. Like, Final Fantasy's fucking huge. They're like, okay, we're going to go into this IP over here, and we're going to make some good cards with good mechanics, and we're going to overprice the shit out of this cardboard.
Yeah.
That's what they're doing. They are capitalizing on people that they know love that shit.
They're doing the commander deck thing you just talked about,
Exactly.
but at the factory.
Yes. Hasbro's a motherfucker, ain't they?
Wow.
Yeah, for cardboard, bro. Like, if picture it this way: you go to Domino's and get yourself a pizza, but then you get the pizza, but there's no pizza in your box.
Yep.
It's a piece of cardboard, and you paid like $30 for no pizza in your box, but you got that box. It's cardboard. They're charging you $500 for some cardboard rectangles, bro.
So every card in that box, we're not talking value for collectability. We're talking value per dollar. Every card in that box is $2.78. Every single card.
And you're not going to open. There's going to be whiffs. You're going to have 50-cent cards.
Oh, man, you're going to have a bunch. Like, I just opened
Yeah.
up a collector's pack. There's a lot of them that were 15, 14, 13 cents.
Right.
I got some awesome hits in mine, but that's not always going to happen. And on top of it, you have to figure out the right person to sell the card to even get the money.
Right.
So I'm a giant collector, a giant Magic fan, a giant Final Fantasy fan, but I like my money more than that.
You can proxy. I
Yeah.
heavily suggest proxying. If you see a card in there with good mechanics and it's legal, I play with a good friend group where just like we don't give a shit as long as you're not like, I don't know, comboing off infinitely, unless like you establish, hey, I'm running infinite combos in this deck, and then we can all kind of adjust like, okay, you're gonna run some asshole shit, I'm gonna run some asshole
Right.
shit.
Let me
But when this this is no fucking way. $500, bro. You know what you can do with $500?
Buy Switch?
A lot. A lot, man. I'll show you what I just did with $500.
Oh, yeah. So this is rolling
Actually,
right
almost
into the
$1,000.
last and probably the coolest part. This got me excited because I love this stuff. So check this out, guys. We're going to switch over to show the next one, but this is what we want to show you in depth real quick. So hold on, I'm going to flip it back to you just so you can see that. And I can go right back to screen cap.
That's my door. There's the guy right there. There he is.
Boom, right back to screen cap. So this is a sweet thing that King just told me he got off of Etsy, but
All right.
look at the quality of this.
Yeah,
thing.
this is all leather. This is sick. This is more of a Sorcerer Supreme version of Doom, if you will. It says Doom Warlord. But I looked up Dr. Doom costumes on Etsy, and Etsy has some pretty good shit. So I got the combo offer, which was not the price that you're seeing up here. But the combo offer after tax was like 6 something, close to 6. And so they messaged me, the people from this shop, and they were like, hey, do you want the boots too? And I'm like, I didn't think the boots weren't, part of it. But I was like, well, yeah, I mean, the boots, definitely can't go in there wearing some fucking, Hokas or any Nikes or
Got
any
your mellows
Wolverines.
out.
I had to get the boots. So they're like, and so she texts me back and she says, yeah, they're going to be $225 at the discount of 25%. And I'm like, oh, word. All right, cool. Tack them on. So she sends me the link. And then I click on the link and then it says $325 or something like that in US dollars. And so I screenshot it and sent it back to her. I'm like, how do we go from 225 to 325 marked down from 400? She goes, that's in euros. So it was my mistake. I wasn't reading the dollar sign correctly. Some people do weird shit with their dollar signs. And so I didn't think it as such, because when I cashed out of here, you could see on the site, it says $511.18 for the combo. That's a 25% off. Hold on a minute. Was that just marked down? Go to the combo offer.
No, that is the combo offer.
That was a combo. Okay. So that's about right. So I didn't see that, and I said, "Wow, man, that's a stretch. $300 some for boots. Like
Yep.
when all this cloak and hood and the pauldrons and all those other things that come with it is only $500. I'm paying $300 for boots. Holy shit!"
Yeah.
And then they kind of like hit me back with like, I wouldn't say a counter offer, but like if you want anything else personalized or specialized, want a belt and this, that, and the other thing, or straps, let us know. We will do the customization. And so like I got to get back with them today, and I'm going to order the boots. But I'm going to cosplay with this. And we're going to go to like Steel City Con or cons around here, and then maybe like I'll win the contest, and then this will pay for itself because this is fucking sharp. This is sick.
Yeah.
I can do like events for, kids hospitals, whatever. I can walk in there and just like, I know when I go as Darth Revan, which is a mediocre cosplay for me.
Especially when you show off your mask too.
Right. The mask is sick. It's coming up here. But no, even like being a 6'4", 260-pound guy, I wear the Revan costume, even though it's a mediocre cosplay. People were like, "Oh my god, that's awesome! Can I take a picture with you?" And like, I'm the focal point of all these things. Now, if I go in there with some quality shit, being as big as I am and walking around, and like, yeah, look at that. That's moist as fuck. That's gonna be sick. It lights up.
Yeah, it's a 3D print, so it's going to be a hard helm and everything. It's got LEDs, and it looks like it comes in 2 pieces.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's all set up.
The only thing that I read about it was with the lights that are illuminating when you have it on, it's a little harder to see out of it.
Yep, that's always the case in any of those lit masks.
So I'll have to have a handler with me. Somebody with a lanyard.
That's right, a leash.
Handlers with lanyards. But no, I'll jump in a
yeah.
fucking costume contest. That is dope. Now see the one here, I thought about that for $1,000, but I don't know if it's gonna be that movie foam. I don't like the way that's shaped.
It is. It's foam.
Yeah, I don't like the way that's shaped, and it doesn't look like I'm going to be able to move.
No.
So I passed on that.
Yeah,
that's OG.
See how stiff it is?
Yeah, that's OG looking fucking. It's cool looking. Don't get me wrong, but like maneuverability is going to be huge for me. I just
because
went with the leather.
the arms, because of these, the way they're shaped, are stuck up. There's a lot of it. I've made a lot of costumes out of the Eva foam. And what have
his
you,
costumes are fucking nasty. I'm
love
trying
the
to land a
costume,
costume here. Like getting this guy over here is hard enough. You can imagine.
Yeah,
getting
make
him
it
to fucking make me a
$200
costume.
or 200-hour costume.
Yeah.
But guys, that is what we have for you today. A lot of just across the board different topics and what have you. But this is what we normally do. Last show we did 2 weeks ago was opening cards because we're big geeks like that. But this is what our show is. We talk about just random happenings that are going on, some cool different stuff like the cosplays and stuff that we just showed you. So if you like what you see, push that subscribe, give us a like, give us a follow, tell your friends, tell your peeps to touch just the tip.
Just your mom.
Just the tip. King, you have anything for him?
I already said what I had to say. Don't fuck with race hustlers. Don't fall for that shit. Stop. Be decent people.
That's it. Decent people.
And don't flop.
Yeah.
Don't be a victim. Don't carry your own body chalk. Don't overpay for Nintendo Switch 2s. If you got Shannon Sharp status, you need to watch who you fuck with.
Yeah.
Tariffs, whatever. It's politics.
And don't buy the Final Fantasy Magic cards.
Yeah, they'll come down in price. Like, don't be. If there is going to be these people that are going to pay that. But,
those are already sold out.
You guys are getting robbed.
Like they're sold out. You can't pre-order them. So it's sold out somehow. But I'm
local game stores, and they're going to sell them at an inflated price.
Yep,
There
sure
it is.
are. So
there you go.
Good luck. Good luck. All right, guys. We'll be back next week. Until then, stay moist.
Stay fucking moist.
That's it.
I got 30-some hoes, you at the crib making TikToks. Perky gon' blow like a 30-6 dog. She gon' fuck my bros, cause I know that she a big dog. I come from the low, but I'm standing at the tip. I got 30-some hoes, you at the crib making TikToks. Perky gon' blow like a 30-6 dog. She gon' fuck my bros, cause